Sorry about that, Judge. Every time I try to engage my video, it disconnects me. So I may have a problem.
Okay, you can try leaving it
I'm
turned
working
on.
with my iPad too, so if another device comes online, that's why.
All right.
It may be my phone.
Okay, I brought everybody in from the waiting room. At this time, I'll call Childress County case.
Judge, you'll need to record.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Yep, I was just looking at that. Okay, all right. We're here today for a status hearing, and we are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We're live streaming, and I am recording to the Zoom cloud. So if you need a copy, let us know. All right, then. We got so many people involved. I'm gonna just announce. Looks like Kayla Martinez is present with her attorney, Stacy Grant. Dylan Casey is present with his attorney, Brooks Barfield. Marcus Garcia Sr. is present, and I'm looking for Ms. Riley. Do I have Ms. Riley? I don't think I've seen her. I've not. I'll watch for her in the waiting room. Mr. Leos, Albert Leos, I do not see him present. And
I'm here, Your Honor.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm sorry. Did I miss you?
Yes, ma'am. I'm right here.
Oh, he's under my name, Judge. I'm sorry. I was confused as well.
Okay. I'm going to change the name real quick so that we.
Thank you.
Okay. Very good. All right. So Mr. Leos is present. My apologies. All right. And he is present with his attorney, Ms. Seal. And I believe that Ms. Sapien is stepping in today for Ms. Stevens, who is the attorney ad litem for the children. CASA is present with us, Connie Monzingo and Jamie Hall. Mr. Groff is present for the department. Looks like Ms. Collins is present with him and Mr. Ivy. All right, did I miss anybody?
I think that's everybody.
Okay, that's enough. All right, I'll continue to watch for Ms. Riley. All right, then, Mr. Ivy, if you would like to give us the update since you filed your court report, that'd be great.
Yes, ma'am. For the update, for the drug tests that were ordered for the parents, Kayla tested positive on her hair follicle on June 25th, but then tested negative for her UA on July 2nd. Dylan tested positive for marijuana on June 23rd. Then Marcus tested negative on June 17th, and Albert tested negative on June 16th.
Okay, Mr. Casey tested negative, did you say?
Dylan Casey tested positive for marijuana. The levels were very low, but it was a positive marijuana test on June 23rd.
Okay.
And Your Honor, just to make a record, I would object to the entrance of the results of the drug tests as to the truth of the matter, but not for use by the court today in making any orders or decisions on a status hearing.
All right. I'll sustain that.
And I concur with that.
Okay, Mr. Ivy, go ahead.
And then for updates on the status or on the court report, Aubrey has completed her CANS on June 20th and completed her dental on June 26th. Alexis completed her CANS assessment on July 7th, but her dental is still pending. And MJ has started therapy. And so with the kids, Aubrey and Alexis are doing very well in their homes. Aubrey has her little brother that she plays with. She has a good relationship with dad's girlfriend and a really good relationship with her dad. Alexis is in the same situation. She has a good relationship with her dad, and she has a little sister that's in the home with them. And they're around like the same age, so they just play together all the time. Whenever I went and visited them, they were running around the house and I mean playing how you think little 5-year-old girls would be playing. And the LPS worker reported that she saw the same thing, that Alexis is happy in her home. MJ has struggled with the transition with going from living with mom to dad. And so the we're hoping the therapy helps with that. He's told me multiple times that he's not happy and he's angry with where he's at and he wants to go back and live with his mom and he's just really struggling. And so I know it's put a strain on Marcus and Abigail. And I'm hoping that situation gets better just over time, but I think just because it's new and everything going on with the case, I think it's had definitely a strong effect on MJ. Visits are going good so far. There was, in the beginning, the dads were supervising the visits, but St. Francis is supervising the visits for Aubrey and MJ now. And Alexis is her dad's still supervising their visits since he's out of region. I don't know if we have a way to supervise their visits unless we do them completely virtual. As far as I know, I've told the Kayla that she could go, her and Albert could schedule visits in person anytime they wanted to, like once a week. And if they did do them in person, they could extend them for a 2-hour period since they live so far apart. And so I think this Saturday they're having, I believe, their first in-person visit since the removal. I have got with the dads and I texted them that I'd like the kids to meet up at least once a month so they could all see each other in person. I don't know if that's happened yet or not, but I do know that the kids do call each other via FaceTime and talk to each other, especially Aubrey and Alexis. I know they talk a lot. And there was, since the last court hearing, there was an investigation opened on Marcus. And during that time, the investigation, nothing came out from Marcus and nothing negative pointed in his way, but Abigail did test positive for marijuana. So we had to put a safety plan in place to where she couldn't watch Marcus Jr. unsupervised. And I think that's all I have that I can think of off the top of my head and I got written down in my notes.
Okay. So, can anybody answer the question if the kids have gotten to have an in-person visit?
I do know
Marcus,
that Aubrey and MJ have got to see each other because when I take them to visits with their mom, I take them together. But I don't know if Alexis has gotten to see Aubrey or MJ in person.
No, Your Honor, they haven't. The kids haven't seen each other as far as Alexis and Aubrey and MJ, just via FaceTime and stuff like that.
Okay. Any possibility we can make that happen sometime in the next few weeks?
Yes, Your Honor. I have the contact information for the fathers, and we'll try to figure out a good plan as far as at least before school starts.
Okay. And maybe it can be in conjunction, after mom's visit or before or something. I mean, I understand we got some travel involved and all of that. So, okay.
and as far as Marcus Jr., me and Mr. Casey, we've talked about, taking them to the water park and stuff like that so they can go ahead and do a visit or stuff like that.
Okay. That's great. Okay. All right. Okay, let me just ask generally, parents, are you guys, it sounds like to some extent, everybody's working together. So, I mean, I'm I'm kind of wanting to find out because, we kind of talked about this at our last hearing, but, is everybody working together pretty well at this point?
Yes, Your Honor. As far as the fathers, they've contacted me wanting seeing when the kids can visit and stuff like that, and I haven't had no issues.
Okay.
Let's say the father's been all pretty good in conjunction, working together.
All right. So Ms. Martinez, how's that going between you and the dads?
It's a work in progress, I guess you could say. I mean, we have our good days, we have our bad days.
Okay. I'm just asking all of you to just please keep your eye on that ball. Because it's just gonna make it so much easier for everybody. I know it's hard, but you just gotta keep in mind the kids come first. All right, Ms. Grant, anything today?
Your Honor, the only thing I can think of is to ask the caseworker if those drug screens have been filed. I don't show them in my file, and I'm not finding that I was e-served, and so I'm just wondering if I missed them.
No, I haven't. Do I need to submit them to the court? Sorry, I just emailed the attorneys or all the attorneys the results.
Okay, so I would be looking then for an email from you, not an e-service, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Let me.
Okay, no, I can get it from email. That's not a problem. I just had missed it in my folder. Thank you, and that's all I had, Judge.
And we'll make sure they get e-filed as well.
Okay, and before I start going around the room, real quickly then, Mr. Ivy, have service plans been prepared and filed for all parents?
Yes, Judge.
Have they signed them?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, great. Okay, Mr. Barfield.
Your Honor, I did receive an email. I've spoken with Mr. Casey about the low-level test, and he assured me that's not going to be an issue in the future.
Well, I would actually like to talk to Mr. Barfield in a breakout if I'd get a chance, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on a pretty tight schedule this morning. I will let you all visit for just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, let me just do this since you're on a tight schedule, Judge. If that's not going to affect your decision right now, I can meet in a breakout room with my client after the hearing, and we can leave the meeting from there unless it's going to have an adverse effect on the court's ruling at this point. I think you see where I'm going, Judge.
Yeah, no, I don't see that what I've heard is going to change anything.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I'll just note for the record that Mr. Casey was forthcoming about cannabis use prior to the case being filed, and I know that my client is not unduly concerned based on the hair test at this point.
Okay. So, Mr. Casey, are you okay to wait and talk with Mr. Barfield when we get done?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Y'all don't let me forget to do that, to put you in there when we get done.
I won't, Judge.
All right. Okay, Mr. Garcia, Ms. Riley hadn't logged in. She may be stuck somewhere else, but any concerns you have or anything you want to ask today?
As far as myself, well, I know Abigail has a retest today, so we're gonna do that after the court, Your Honor. But as far as like my son, just concerns, like I know it seems to get hard or harder whenever he does see mom or he talks to mom, because then he goes back to that mindset to where he's like, well, I don't have to listen to y'all and stuff like that. So, I mean, I know it's a work in progress, and I just, and I mean, like Tucker said, I just hope, I hope the therapy with Aaron helps. It's just, I mean, that's the only concern or anything that I have, with my son. But other than that, I mean, he's been good, and everything's been good here as far as what he tells me and what we think. I mean, as far as that, Your Honor.
Okay. Sadly, Mr. Garcia, you are experiencing, I think, what everybody with an 11-year-old and above in age experiences when you've got parents in different homes.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think the therapy will help. Is co-parenting a portion of their service plans, Mr. Ivy? If that's recommended by their counselors?
It's not in the co-parenting's not in the service plan. Is that something you'd like me to include?
Let's just see how it evolves with their individual counseling, and that it may come around to that where there's some recommendation for that later in the case. But there's other things we need to focus on first. So
Well, I was told to make the plan for the dads as minimal as possible. So the only things I put on there was to stay in contact with me and for their drug testing.
I understand. It may be that with more because of Marcus Jr.'s age, it may be that Mr. Garcia and Ms. Martinez really might benefit down the road in this case from some co-parenting. And it's, because it addresses how do we maintain the same rules in different households, and how do we have kids have the same expectations, in both places, and how difficult it is when they have very different expectations and very different rules in each household. So I'm not saying we have to do it at this moment, but Mr. Garcia and Ms. Martinez, just understand that may be something that I ask you all to do at some point in time. We'll see how this rocks along and how this evolves.
Your Honor, may I ask if the service plans have been e-filed? I don't seem to have those either.
He indicated they had been filed.
Okay.
I do believe I filed them.
Okay, thank you.
You may just need to make sure, Mr. Ivy, you got everybody on a service contacts, because there's so many people involved in this. I could see how you could miss somebody.
Yes, Judge.
But we'll make sure that, Ms. Grant, that you all see those.
No problem. I just wanted to see if they were email or e-filed. I will locate them, Judge. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Seal.
Your Honor, I think the only other thing we had talked about at the adversary was possibly filing or consolidating and transferring all of the AG orders for child support into this case. And I know Mr. Leos was asking about that when we visited yesterday. So that would be the only other thing I would like to have some insight on.
I don't know.
All my thunder, Your Honor. We were going to make the same motion. We filed the paperwork, I believe, so we would join in that motion.
Okay, so those motions have been filed?
That's my understanding. I confirmed that with my legal assistant this morning. I think we did that yesterday. So with that, we would ask to transfer and consolidate.
Okay, I just need the orders and that'll be done.
Thank you.
Now, once we get that done, do we need to suspend some child support obligations?
Yes, Judge, that would be my request on behalf of my clients.
As any child support obligation owed by my client as well, we would request would be suspended if there is any.
So once we get those consolidated, counsel, I think I indicated to you, if any of the fathers are paying child support to mom, if you all will want to do withholding order, terminating, and or if Mr. Graff wants to present those, but it's this court's intent to suspend those support obligations, not redirect them to the department, but to suspend those, till we see the outcome of all this.
And Your Honor, this was a case that one or more of the fathers actually have arrearages they need to continue paying on. So I wanted to make sure that the fathers understand that they still have to pay the arrearages they're already due.
Yeah, I will, that will never be part of my order to affect anything having to do with the arrears, only current ongoing child support or medical support.
Thank you, Judge.
And Your Honor, I misspoke. They haven't been filed, but my assistant informs me we will be filing those today.
Okay. So it is my intent to suspend those. So once we get them consolidated, if we will follow up then with orders, the appropriate orders to suspend any current and or current child support or medical support.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Ms. Seal, anything else?
No, Your Honor, that would be all.
Okay, and so Ms. Sapien.
Thank you, Judge. And Your Honor, Ms. Stevens has provided to me her report, which I will give to all of you. I think some of it has already been covered, and so if it has, I'll try to note that as I'm talking.
Sure.
In regards to the girls, she reports that they do miss their mom, but that they are happy and thriving in their current home. Dads are doing a great job of supporting their emotions and being kind about mom. Her only recommendation, which I think I heard some talk about this earlier, is to have in-person visitation time with mom as soon as possible for the girls. And then she moves on to Marcus, which I'm gathering we call MJ. So in regards to MJ, she says she does have some serious concerns about what's going on. And I have heard, obviously, that commentary today. Marcus reported to Bethany that he has been grounded since the investigation opened regarding stepmom. That he reported to CPS that he heard his dad say that stepmom uses marijuana. So Bethany is concerned that he is still grounded for being honest. Of course, that report is coming from MJ. He acknowledges that he has trouble listening, but that he is trying really hard to start listening better. And it sounds like counseling is going to get started, so hopefully that will help. Bethany is recommending more than 1 hour of visitation with mom, since he is missing her so much. She's renewing her recommendation that dad and stepmom take parenting classes, anger management, and she requested drug testing, but it sounds like that's already been done with stepmom. And she is asking the court to consider exploring other possible kinship placements for Marcus because things are not getting better with him. She's also recommending counseling, which it sounds like that's being started. I believe you said with Aaron. She's asking that the court admonish Mr. Garcia that there not be any retaliation against Marcus today for his reporting to Bethany regarding the grounding. And additionally, she is planning on giving MJ a notebook so that he can make notes about anything he wants to talk to her or CASA about. And she is requesting that the court make it clear to Mr. Garcia that that notebook is MJ's property and he should not confiscate that notebook or read it.
Okay, I'm gonna hold off on some of the things of the anger management, the parenting. I think it's really more of an issue of co-parenting, but which we've already talked about. I am going to permit her to provide the child with a notebook in which to document or make notes of things he wishes to talk to his attorney and or to CASA about. Mr. Garcia, I will tell you that that is a private book. And no one else in the household should have access to that, should look at it. That is the child's personal book, and to some extent it would be attorney-client privilege.
Yes, ma'am, I understand, Your Honor.
So that's to be his and his only, and no one else is to look at that.
Yes, ma'am, I understand. And as just based on hearing that, he wasn't grounded for that. He was grounded because he wasn't following the rules, as such as like eating in his room and like hiding food under his bed. That's why he was grounded.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. There are some things what you just said to me there that I think need to be addressed in counseling. You know, why is he hiding food? Why is he, there are some things.
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
there's some red flags to me when children do those things, but we'll let the counselor handle that.
Yes, ma'am. We've relayed that to Miss Souter as well from Wellington. She's the one that runs the counseling.
Okay. All right. Okay, yeah, it's, we are in a situation where we need children to be honest with us and to, you know, be, to feel like they can honestly tell, professionals what's on their mind or what they're feeling and what concerns they have or fears or, what they're happy about. I mean, it's not all just the negative stuff, it's the good stuff too. And so, obviously there should be no repercussion or punishment for a child for being honest about something that's going on in the household. So I have no problem with disciplining kids for other issues. I think that's appropriate, but when it comes to this case and their ability to talk with the people they need to talk to, I don't want anything that would impinge on their ability to do that.
Your Honor, my client is very interested in going ahead and starting co-parenting, specifically with for her and Mr. Garcia separately, and then possibly some classes together down the road. Um, they have had a particularly difficult time co-parenting, and it's our concern that perhaps MJ is struggling with just the different parenting styles that he's experiencing versus anybody doing anything wrong. And that perhaps co-parenting could get them in a more common style of parenting, which would be beneficial to the child.
I think that, I mean, and we've talked about this already, but I think that it's appropriate for them to start addressing that in their individual therapy and then move into true co-parenting. And I very much see that on the horizon. But I think we need to
Thank you,
start,
Judge.
let's start with their individual therapists and that's kind
And
of
she
the normal
also,
course.
and I didn't mean to interrupt you, Judge.
No, that's right.
She also is very interested in an increase in visitation with MJ, supervised, of course, the same as it has been, in order to give him a little bit more contact with her and maybe ease his mind a little bit that things are fine and everybody's working their services, and give him a more positive feedback from each side.
All right, Mr. Ivy, do you see any problem with trying to maybe increase the time with MJ?
No, I do know that Kayla is about to start a job that's out of state, I believe on the 28th. And so if she's fine with increasing it virtually or for virtual visits, then I'm fine with that.
Okay, let's just see what we can figure out, as long as it's positive. And Ms. Martinez, I mean, I will just tell you that you and Mr. Garcia both, it may be painful, but you need to prop each other up right now. That will help Marcus more than anything if he hears positive things from each of you about the other parent. And not just refraining from the negative, but positive remarks. Mom's working hard mom's working real hard on her issues, and dad's doing a good job, and you are fine there, you're safe. You just got to let it give a little time and adjust, and you're going to be okay. I mean, that's the kind of stuff he needs to hear. So it's not just refraining from being negative, but it's also propping each other up.
Your Honor, I do my very best on doing that after every visit because he does get a little hesitant to want to go back, and I say nothing but good things about his dad. I haven't said bad things about any of their fathers because they are a part of them, and I don't want my children to think that I look at them any type of way because I want my kids to have their dads in their life. It means that that's more valuable to me than anything. And so I do my best when it comes to MJ. It's just my kids have known me like I've been the only parent there for all of their life, you know? So it is just an adjustment issue, I believe.
Yeah, and I think he will as long as he's given positive reinforcement. Okay, CASA. Need to hear from y'all. I'm sorry, I'm running behind already, but I want to hear from CASA.
You're good. We have visited with all three kids in their homes. We do not have any concerns there. MJ did not express those concerns to me, but we will be going back out here in the next 2 weeks probably to visit all of them. And so I will try to get with him and and talk and kind of see what he's got going on. I do agree with Miss Grant. I think that co-parenting could really benefit. And it'd really help the kids. I agree with therapy for MJ too. If he is struggling, that would be the best thing for him, I think. But as of right now, no concerns, and we will continue visiting.
Okay, appreciate you.
And Your Honor, I'm sorry, one more request. We would ask again that Mr. Garcia be admonished that Miss Martinez must ask him for things in order to co-parent, and so far the response she's been getting is that she has no right to, and she's in no position to ask him for anything, but she must approach him, and we must be able to ask for things. And so we would just request a more open mind when we ask for things, even if the answer is no. I need her to feel comfortable in approaching him and asking for things that are needed where the children are concerned, or if she needs to call or anything like that. But right now we're not progressing where we need to be in reactions to one another.
Asking for what kind of things? I guess I'm not.
Your Honor,
Well,
sorry,
I'm
go ahead.
sorry.
Go
That's
ahead, Ms.
okay.
Grant.
I'm sorry, Mr. Garcia. I didn't mean to talk over
No,
you.
Ms. Grant, go ahead.
Just the, if there could be, if there could be a FaceTime call or anything that's asked for, communication, is just not good right now. And it's just a statement that was reported to me and the context wasn't given. So I'm just asking these parents to understand they have to be able to speak to one another and do it amicably.
Okay, I assume you mean a FaceTime call between mother and father, because of the visitation calls would be monitored.
Those are with the child, correct, Judge. It's just the parent, the feedback that Miss Martinez is getting from Mr. Garcia is still very judgmental and still very accusatory in tone, perhaps. I'm not sure. I'm not trying to throw Mr. Garcia under the bus. I'm just saying that we're not progressing, and I'm just asking that everybody try to speak kind to one another and approach each other with open minds.
And just my input on that, Your Honor. Me and Miss Martinez, we really don't communicate. I communicate through Tucker if I have anything or if she has anything, but she's never really asked me anything about, anything, honestly. I don't remember the last time I've spoken to Miss Martinez.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Garcia.
Okay, well, I don't think I could make it any more clear what the court expects of parents, to be supportive of each other, to be respectful, to be civil, because it's anything but that just doesn't do any good. Period. Paragraph. Okay, I need to talk to parents real quickly about service plans. I'm going to order your service plans as an order of the court today. What that means is that obviously I expect you to work those services, and failure to work those services can result in, kids not coming home or kids being removed from a home. So it's very important that y'all, do what is in those plans, work your way through them. And, I very much see the co-parenting on the horizon with respect to Mr. Garcia and Ms. Martinez. But that needs to start, like I said, with individual therapy. So we'll start there and then we'll just work our way through it. All right, then, for today, I will find that we will continue the department as temporary managing conservator and continue the children's placements. I find a continuing danger to return the children home to the mother today. We will order the service plans as an order of the court. I will suspend any current and ongoing child support and medical support once these cases are consolidated. And I will see you all back for the initial permanency hearing on November 4th of 2025. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. Obviously, the department will continue to use reasonable efforts to reunify the families. All right, I appreciate each of you. Good luck with your services. And please, like I said, keep your eye on the ball, and that means the children.
Judge, breakout room.
And I'll set you guys up in your breakout room.
Thank you.
Ms. Martinez,
Thank
are
you,
you asking for a breakout room with your attorney?
I believe
Yes,
so,
please.
Judge.
Yes.
Yes. Is that a
Yes.
yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And my apologies, Judge. It appears that the communication difficulties are actually with a different party, and I will address that through Mr. Ivy after I talk with Ms. Martinez.
All right. I've set you all up in room 2.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
Thanks, you too. Initial permanency hearing in this case. We are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We are live streaming and I'm recording to the Zoom cloud today. I don't have a reporter, so if anybody needs a copy of this, just let us know and we'll make it available to you. All right. Let's see. Quick question, Ms. Hall. I did have 2 people logged in under your name. I'm looking now. Maybe that's resolved.
I think it was Connie.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. But she's got her name changed now. Okay. All right, then. Okay. We'll go ahead and take announcements. Let's see, Ms. Stevens obviously fell out. She's logging back in, but we'll go ahead and start announcements.
Morning, Your Honor. Gene Graff and Tucker Ivy on behalf of the department. Present, ready to proceed.
Brooks Barfield on behalf of Dylan Casey. He's present and I'm ready.
Sage Seal here on behalf of respondent father Albert Leos. Your Honor, he's present and we're ready.
Bethany Stevens here, ad litem for the children. I'm present and ready.
Okay, and CASA is also present with us. All right, then. Mr. Groff, I guess we're going to get an update from Mr. Ivy, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Ivy, how are you this morning?
Good, you ma'am?
All right. Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear you'll tell the truth today?
I do.
Okay.
Tucker, if you'd like to go ahead and give the court an update and include the information that you provided via email earlier this week.
Yes, sir, I will. I guess I'll start with the kids. MJ's doing really good in school. In the beginning, he was failing a class and he got in a little bit of trouble, but since then he's made a new friend that he hangs out with every day. He got a tutor and all of his grades are passing or better, and he's doing good in football. He's doing really well with his dad. Aubrey's the same way. She's doing good in school. She's doing well in placement, and Alexis is doing really well. I think she wants to see her mom more, but she lives in Wichita, and we finally have a set schedule to where I can arrange for transportation every other Friday to pick all the kids up so they can all see each other, and so that they can that she can see her mom in person more often. And so yeah, and Alexis is doing good in school as well. Kayla is doing really well with services. She's provided 3 clean UAs and a clean hair follicle. She's maintained stable income, transportation, and housing. She has 2 services left to do, which are 1-day things, and then her and our parent support worker are working on getting her started with outpatient rehab. So that's where Kayla's at. She is doing very well. One of the issues that has come up is visitation. Kayla has 4 different people that she has to work around and 4 kids to go see. And so with work, services, and working with everyone, like it's hard for her to maintain a stable schedule. And she works as a nurse, so her schedule shifts week to week. She has had a hard time with staying or having a good relationship with, especially Marcus. Her visits with with Alexis and Aubrey are going well. She doesn't have a hard time communicating with them, but the visits between Marcus and or Kayla and Marcus's relationship is rocky, and like they kind of, it's not that they butt heads, it's just communication isn't there. And so MJ's been affected by that when it comes to visitations with his mom, like what he's expecting. And I think Bethany has put in a plan that will help with that. The dads, they're all doing good. They love the kids being home. They have stated to me that all of them individually have stated to me that they do not want to go through with the reunification plan. They would like the kids to stay home because one, they don't want the kids pulled out of school, and 2, they want the kids to stay with them. And that's just what I've heard from all the dads. And so I think that's it. That's my update.
Mr. Ivy, are the children getting to spend time together? I mean, even outside of mom's visits, I mean, are they getting to see one another regularly?
They're allowed to call each other, and the dads, I mean, they all have their own work schedules and they've talked about trying to meet up. But I do know every other Friday they at least get to meet up with mom in person. And since one's in Wichita, one's in Clarendon, and one's in Childress, it's hard to get them all together. I do know Aubrey and Alexis, they're kind of, they have the closest bond, and they call each other constantly and FaceTime each other. But outside of visits, I don't think that the dads have gotten them together.
So she sees him every other Friday.
Yeah, that's the schedule we have now. Last Friday, they weren't able to see each other because a huge storm swept through, and it was too dangerous to pick up Alexis. But I mean, I request transportation, and we do what we can. Sometimes we can only pick up Alexis, and then Kayla will have to go get MJ. But so far, we do have a set schedule because Kayla does have every other Friday off, so we can get all the kids together. I can request transportation and get them together at Kayla's house, and they can get back at a decent time.
Okay. What's been the delay with outpatient? Has it just been a spot? What's been the delay there?
The outpatient rehab. So Kayla works a night shift, and so she has to go there in the morning, and it's mainly the starting it that's been the hassle. Is she's gone there twice, waited for multiple hours, and still hasn't got in. But we've kind of got it figured out to where there is going to just have to be a day where she goes in there and she's just going to have to wait for a while, is what the parent support worker told me. Is she talked to the head of the facility, and that like the 2 days that Kayla went were extremely busy. And so she's just going to have to go in one day and wait it out, essentially. And I think we've communicated that with Kayla, and now it's pretty clear. Like what
What
just needs to be-
provider is this?
It is. It's the one in Childress. I'm trying to remember. It's not Rolling Plains, but Caleb probably knows the name of it. I'm sorry, I don't remember off the top of my head.
It's Helen Fairby Center.
Helen Fairby, that's what it is.
Okay.
And that is like the only outpatient rehab service that's near Childress that would work with like Kayla's schedule and what she's needing. And I mean, she is testing clean at the moment. She's provided 3 clean UAs. She recently provided a clean hair follicle.
All right. Well, okay. Anything else, Mr. Ivy?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Miss Grant. You have any questions for Mr. Ivy or anything to report today?
Mr. Ivy, what is the mother's current visitation amount per day for each child? Is it the same for each child?
At the moment, it's 2 hours per visit, but we've allowed some flexibility in that considering her drive time and the distance between the kids. So we have the supervisor as her sister, Candy Martinez, and that way it gives Kayla more flexibility. And we've told the dads and her, like, if they're wanting to allow her extra time supervised, that they can.
Okay,
And so,
do you have any, with that being said, do you have any problem today with the court increasing her time of visitation by court order?
no, ma'am. I'm meeting with my director tomorrow to actually see if we can push for unsupervised visits since Kayla has completed over half of her services and she's testing clean.
Okay,
So,
so you'll be staffing that tomorrow, you believe?
yes, ma'am, it's on the schedule to staff it tomorrow.
Okay, and so unsupervised visits, would she be picking up at one location or for each child? Where would your plan be to pick up if you know yet?
It would be up to Kayla if if she communicates with the dads that she wants to pick them up at a certain time, certain place. I do know that we don't require the dads to transport the kids.
Okay,
So she could pick them up at an agreed location or anywhere, but I can also arrange for transportation, which even if it is unsupervised visitation, I can still do the every other Friday arrange transportation. It's just for that on the every other Friday, we have to have the kids at home at a certain time.
okay,
So the visit, I think max can only be 2 hours,
okay,
considering
so
how
if
far
we go to
MJ
unsupervised, she's gonna have to resolve the transportation issues every other Friday if she wants to go longer or whatever we decide on the extension of time.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Judge. That was all I had.
Okay. Mr. Barfield, any questions for Mr. Ivy or anything to report today?
I don't think that would be, the only issue that I'm aware of based on the reports I read in CASA's report and Mr. Ivy's report is, I think, and the court signed a child support, and I know this is the child support order to stop his child support, and it's still coming out, which was a concern. I think the other dad's child support has been stopped. And I know that's an AG thing, but he didn't want me, that is a significant financial burden. And so I know the court signed an order. I don't know if there's anything else that can be done on that or not. Other than that, I don't have anything. I think everything's going good with Aubrey, with Dylan. I think they're doing really well.
Okay, I may have signed an order, but did anybody issue on it?
I guess that's what I'm asking. Because I've seen the order, but I don't know if the Attorney General's received it or not.
I usually have to issue them, Brooks, myself from my office.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get on that then. Okay. I have the order, so we'll look into that ourselves.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, generally speaking, they don't pick up on the actual order. What the employer doesn't, the employer needs
well-
to get an issuance that says, stop it.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
We'll have Dylan, we'll have him deal with the Attorney General. We have the order in our possession. We can get it to him and he can get it to the Attorney General, I guess.
All right, Mr. Garcia, I've still not seen your attorney come into the waiting room. Let me just ask you, do you have any questions for Mr. Ivy or anything that you need to talk about today?
No, ma'am. I mean, my biggest concern was Kayla being more consistent with, I guess, letting us know when she's going to come pick up Marcus Jr. Because there's been times where, like, he didn't see her at all this past week. The last time he seen her was last Sunday, and we had to meet her in Memphis because she couldn't come to Clarendon due to her scheduling and uh her sister not being able to come with her and stuff like that. I just me and Abigail, which is my significant other, we just want her to be more consistent on that part with Marcus Jr.
Okay, and I've got some things that I'm gonna address about kind of that and some other moving parts here, but all right, I appreciate it, sir. All right,
Yes, ma'am.
and Ms. Seal?
No questions, Your Honor, just that we are still in favor of Alexis remaining in placement with Mr. Leos at this time.
Okay. Ms. Stevens, any questions for Mr. Ivy or anything else to report today?
Yes, just to report, Your Honor, I met with all of the kids. I did a home visit with Marcus, and I FaceTimed with Alexis, and I saw Aubrey in person, and they're all thriving. They're all doing very, very well. I've been amazed because little Marcus, when this started, was just a little boy, and now he is a sixth grader playing eighth grade football, and he has thinned out his face, and he just on the inside is so much more mature. I will say the kids want to go home to mom, so I would not be in favor of them not eventually doing that if mom completes her services. And they definitely want more time with mom. I really, really want to commend Marcus's dad because, as we all know, I had concerns about him at the beginning with his anger issues and things like that. However, I will say, upon visiting their home and talking to him, he seems far less angry, much more patient and understanding towards not only his son, but also towards the mother in this case. The little bit of frustration he just now expressed to the court is completely understandable. And I hope the court can see how much more patient he is. Now, that was a very loving home to walk into, and they have moved. This house is much cleaner, much safer, much nicer. I have nothing but good things to report about the dads. Everybody already knows that I was very happy with the other dads. The things that I am concerned about and what I tried to put in place is while I appreciate that the dads have been very flexible about visits, and in fact, as Marcus Sr. just said, Kayla had called on an off day and said, "Can I see him?" They drove to Memphis to make sure that happened, even though they're not under any obligation to do any driving. I'm not in favor. What I have asked is, I do not think that Kayla should talk to Marcus or any of the children directly about potential visits because, especially with Marcus, she will get his hopes up, not show up, and then his behavior gets bad. And he and I talked about that. This is him telling me. He and I talked about that, and he feels like just that disappointment is what causes him to act out because Marcus Sr. has advised me that Marcus Jr.'s behavior has gotten so much better. And so I sent an email to all the attorneys asking that Kayla not speak to the children about potential visits. She can talk to them about anything else she wants, obviously, but I don't think it's a good idea for her to talk to them about potential visits that may fall through. I asked that she only speak to the dads themselves about potential visits, and that the dads not necessarily tell the kids until they're 90% certain it will actually happen. One thing that I was concerned about is the lack of timeliness. Marcus Jr. reported to me that on one occasion he was supposed to be back at home around 8:30. He didn't get there until 9:30 or 9:45 and had not been fed supper. So that I think is a problem. I asked in my email that Kayla agreed to be on time for pickups, on time for drop-offs, especially when they're that late, and to actually make sure she feeds the children when it is dinner time. Marcus is a growing boy. They're all precious children. So we need to make sure they actually get fed. I didn't put this in the email, but one thing that I think would be fair, since the dads are being more flexible with Kayla on when she has visitation, they need at least 24 hours notice. This calling at the last minute and saying, hey, I want to see him. Marcus Jr. especially is very busy with his football, and so that's not always feasible. And one thing I will say about Marcus Sr., even though I felt he was angry starting this case, he actually really does want to facilitate those visits, because he shared with me that he had some experience with this as a little kid too. And so he does want to facilitate those, but sometimes it's really hard without at least 24 hours notice, just because of Marcus Jr.'s schedule with extracurriculars and things like that. I sent that email out to all of the attorneys. I did not get an agreement back, except from Mr. Graff said that, of course, he would be in agreement with that. I don't think those are unreasonable. I think that's just being a good parent and being responsible. The last thing, little Miss Aubrey wanted me. She asked me what I did, and so I explained court and judges and all of that. And she told me, she's so precious, they all are, but she told me that her favorite thing in the world is to make slime. And she would like you, Judge Baker, me, and her to get together and make slime, please.
Sounds like something better than what I do every day, all day long.
And I wouldn't have even brought it up, but she did tell me twice during our visit to make sure the judge knows she wants the three of us to get together and make slime.
I didn't know you could make slime. I thought you just bought it.
That's her favorite activity, and she does it. She said Kayla's great at making slime, and her stepmom is great at making slime. So she said that you and I need to figure out how to make slime and do it with her.
And I would object to any ex parte contact, so that could happen.
Well, I didn't go into ex parte with the little one. I just said the judge would love that someday.
Indeed,
I would move that Jean be required to participate in the making of the slime.
I would pay to see Eugene participate.
I would volunteer that. That would be fine.
Okay. Let me hear from CASA, and then since we had a case dismissed on the docket, so we got a little bit of extra time. So there's a number of things I want to address, but
Your Honor, before you move on to CASA, can I give you a brief reply to Ms. Stevens' email that we kind of owe her?
Sure.
Kayla didn't see MJ, she calls him MJ, Marcus Jr., this week because he had I believe, a change in his football schedule from what was originally scheduled. And so we don't disagree with the 24 hours notice, obviously, with the caveat that the extracurricular schedule can be heavy for these football kids and changes do occur. And obviously we couldn't, foresee that one. But she was also wanting to know about possibly changing the meeting point for her visitations to Childress so that she is driving less time each direction and getting the children home more timely. But there's a lot of moving parts in the visitation to this particular case. And so I think that's something we may have to continue to work on offline to ensure that we get it correctly done. And then the last thing regarding Ms. Stevens' email, she wanted Kayla to communicate better directly with the dads. And so Kayla has agreed to do that. She would like to communicate only with the dads to ensure that the relationships are growing and getting better. We are very grateful that MJ has dad's girlfriend who's very active with him and does a lot, but most of the contact does go through that girlfriend. And so as much as we appreciate that, we also want the co-parenting relationship to grow. And so we would ask that Marcus and Kayla communicate directly for a little while to ensure that we're doing everything Stevens wants to see done in order to foster the timeliness and the pickups and drop-offs and so forth. But we have discussed timeliness and the importance of that, and we hope to see that improving.
And Your Honor, if I may, even more than the timeliness, can we all agree that Kayla will only talk to the dads, not to the children about potential visits? Because that really is causing problems when Marcus Jr. gets disappointed. And I don't think that behavioral issue is hard to understand.
Yeah, that's part, I didn't go into that part. I'm sorry, Bethany, but yes, we agree talking to the dad about visitations is the key to keeping things smooth for the children.
And Your Honor, I would just second what Miss Grant said about, I do think that Kayla and the dads need to be primaries, even though Aubrey has a great stepmom and Marcus has a stepmomish figure. And both kids have reported to me that they feel very loved. I agree with Miss Grant that the co-parenting needs to grow between Kayla and dads.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, and CASA?
Okay, sorry, I couldn't figure out how to unmute. We,
all right.
all the kids are super precious. We do see big improvements at the dads' homes, with dads as well as the kids. We think everything should be maintained as is for the current. MJ playing football has been mentioned a couple of times. I did get to go watch him play a football game. That was a lot of fun to see. I've seen the kids in the home. I visited with the dads, and the reoccurring theme seems to be visitations, but that is one of our main concerns as well. Aubrey is in the same town as mom. They both live in Childress, and so their visitations are happening a lot more frequently than the other two. And we would just like to see the other two get the same opportunities or the same amount of time as Aubrey for those visitations. And especially Alexis, it seems like, I know she's further away. I know that requires more moving parts. In talking with mom, she says that transportation is her biggest issue. But I know in speaking with Tucker once before that he is requesting St. Francis transportation. But again, it's just a problem of lining up everybody's schedules all at once. But that would be our biggest request, is that all three get the same stability and the same opportunity for visitation with mom.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. And as always, we appreciate CASA's work in the case and assistance in the case.
Your Honor, I forgot one thing. I apologize.
Sure.
The children did ask, specifically Aubrey asked for more time, yes, with Alexis, because they are extremely close, but she does want to see Marcus. And all of the children have said they need to see each other more often. And just so the court understands, FaceTime is great, but Aubrey and Alexis are littles. So it's harder for them to maintain that relationship on the phone. And sweet Marcus isn't going to have anything to talk about for very long with littles on the telephone. That's not going to work out. They need to see each other in person.
Understood. Okay. First of all, I'm pleased with the progress that the whole case has made. We're a long way from where we started, and I congratulate parents on their ongoing efforts to improve their communication, to improve their co-parenting. That is all good, and I hope that continues. Because at some point in time, this court's job is going to be done. You all have court orders. I'm addressing parents. I mean, there were pre-existing court orders, I think, for each parent and child. Correct, Mr. Groff?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. And there's a lot of ifs here, but that's partially why I want to address parents about this. You know, if the children are reunified with the mother, generally speaking, what happens is we dismiss out. Everything reverts back to the prior court orders, in which I haven't looked at. It's been a minute since I think Ms. Grant sent those out, but you know, I think we were under sort of standard visitation orders and all that. So I just, all I'm saying to dads is, and mom, this court is not here to do your custody fight. So I'm giving y'all a heads up. There's prior court orders. Once our job is done with the family, if we think things are stabilized and the children are safe, then generally speaking, my job is to reunify and leave you all back in the position where I found you. It's a little different if there weren't prior court orders. I'm happy for you all to utilize the resources that you have right now, which is, newsflash, you've got free lawyers right now. And I definitely see that this case probably needs to head to a mediation at some point in time. But you all have the benefit of having counsel right now that can help walk you through what this whole situation is going to look like moving forward. And trust me, it is complicated when you've got 3 children and 3 different dads, and there's going to be visitation orders. Whether the children remain with dads, whether one child remains with a father, 2 go home to mother, 2 children stay with their fathers, 1 goes home to mother. I mean, there's, you all are getting it. There's just like this infinite amount of possibilities here. But no matter what, wherever each child ultimately is primarily residing, you guys are going to be tasked and faced with the difficulties of transportation for visitation, schedules. As you're already seeing with Marcus, the older children get and the more involved they get, the more complicated it gets, working around their extracurricular activities. And whether it's me or it's another judge, I can tell you what every judge is going to be sitting there thinking is, how do we handle this with the least disruption to the children? Because the children didn't create the current situation. So it is going to ultimately be all of your responsibilities to make sure that each child gets back and forth between that child's parents and hopefully some level of cooperation so that the children get to see each other on a regular basis. And again, that could look like 100 different things in this case. So I think the sooner parents start getting used to this idea, they're going to have to share some of these responsibilities of, you know, transportation, meeting halfway. One takes the child the whole way on the front end, the other one picks up at the other end. I mean, there's different ways to do this. But what I'm telling you is you need to start thinking about it now and talking to your lawyers about it now. Because if I just end up, if the determination is that the department should no longer be involved in the case because the children have suitable, safe parents and homes to live in, then by law, I will get out of your lives and so will the department, and so will the department resources, and so will your lawyers. They will no longer be your counsel once this case is dismissed. And if you go back to those prior orders, then you guys are going to all be faced with, you either go back to the prior order and you live with it, or you got to go out and hire a lawyer and file a private modification suit. And it's expensive. I don't care where you live, it's expensive. So, I don't know exactly what you guys attorneys are charging on an hourly basis for a private family law case, but I'm guessing it's in at least the $300 an hour category, and it could be upwards from that. So my suggestion is you use all of these resources very wisely, but you start projecting and getting yourselves ready for the future. Because right now, the case is certainly on a trajectory that the department's going to dismiss out. And that could happen sooner rather than later, which is a great thing because that means everybody's doing what we need them to do. But I just want parents to be crystal clear. We are not here to fight your custody battle. And it isn't going to happen. So everybody start talking now. It may be a little early to set a mediation because our next hearing is in February, but and we're all getting ready to get into a real busy time of year, and things are going to be crazy. Council, let me ask, any problem about setting mediation for sometime maybe in late January or early February?
We can start working on that, Judge.
I think that would be a good time for it.
All right. I'm going to have Ms. Katie look at to see who we've got up next to mediate. Some of you folks do mediate for us. Obviously, it can't be you. But this is going to be tricky because there's a lot of moving parts.
Excuse me, Judge.
Yes, sir.
This phone is about to die. I have my other phone that I'm trying to join in on the call.
Nope.
If someone could accept me.
I see you. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you bet. So let's just say we'll set mediation to occur. Why don't we say before February, February 15th, that would be 10 days prior to our next hearing. A dismissal prior to that is, I guess, theoretically possible. But if mom hasn't started that outpatient, whether or not she'd actually be finished with that much before that is, I would say, would be questionable. So, here's the problem with that I see as far as mom's visitation right now and trying to bump that up. Kids are in school, they got activities, you got travel involved. I mean, it's the same thing everybody's been talking about. Is there a reason why visits can't happen on the weekend, or is that because of mom's work schedule? Because she's got to work some weekends.
St. Francis doesn't provide transportation on the weekends, but visits can happen on the weekends. And I think visits have happened on the weekends. It's just we can't transport the kids on the weekends.
Mr. Ivy, I think it's time to start talking to parents about, if we're going to increase time with mom, that also helps satisfy increasing time with the kids together. Okay? So we can kill two birds with one stone there. because I just don't see any way to wrap in another, visit for just the kids into this situation right now. I just think it's not going to happen. I think it's just going to fall
Yes,
apart every
ma'am,
time
I
we
agree.
try. Yeah. So, if we can increase that time and if the weekends are feasible for parents to do some of the transportation and maybe meeting halfway. I mean, of the places where the children are, I mean, Childress would seem to me to be the most logical place to meet. Probably has a little more things to do for mom and kids and all. Still supervised until you all staff and decide it could be otherwise. But I think that discussion needs to happen about how that's going to work.
Yes, ma'am, I can do that.
And I hate to just kick that can to you, but I'm not sure I have enough specific information about everybody's work schedules and kids stuff and all of that to just, I can just make an order and then tell y'all you got to make it happen, but that's pretty inflexible and that may not work very well for anybody, which all the lawyers know when it comes down, push comes to shove. I mean, I can just make an arbitrary order, but nobody's really going to like it very well. So you all are all better off to figure out what works. So, okay. Then today I'm going to continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and I'm going to continue the children's current placements with their respective fathers. I would find that there's a continuing danger to return the children home to mother at this time, but that mother and all fathers are in compliance with our family plan service. I am going to order the majority of communication will be through the parents, regarding visits and schedules, school issues, grades, anything like that parents need to be talking about. Most of that needs to happen parent to parent. However, I'm very respectful of step parents' involvement and commitment in cases like this. And so I'm not going to just issue a blanket order and say never. That fathers are all working. If there's a spouse or significant other in the home, that's okay. That sometimes the communication may need to be with that person, and I'm fine with that. If it's something that requires, parental decision making and how we're going to handle, one kiddo gets in trouble at school or something, how y'all are going to handle that. Yeah, that's a parent to parent discussion about what privileges is the kid going to lose, what gets taken away and for how long. And, you need to come up with something that's going to be the same punishment in both homes. I mean, these are the things you guys have got to start working on right now. You got to be on the same page with your kids, because if you aren't, trust me, they will manipulate you. And they're all getting to that age where, well, Marcus Jr. certainly is old enough. He may already have dabbled in it. But the other two are certainly getting to that point where they will start and they will do it if they know they can do it and get away with it. And that you guys don't talk to each other or you don't talk about important things. All right, so then I've given my abbreviated parenting class for the day. I'll, like I said, I'll order mediation before February 15th of 2026. Unless you all have some other agreement, prior to that time, that's fine. I'll certainly entertain anything that you guys come up with. So our next scheduled hearing, as I said, will be on February 25th of 2026. That'll be on a 9:00 docket. Will be by Zoom, obviously, since we've got people all over the Panhandle and downstate even. Anybody have any questions?
Your Honor, respectfully, will you just address the tardiness? Because Marcus Jr. was very insistent that being brought home at 9:45 when he was supposed to be there at 8:30 was a problem. Now, he complained about not having dinner, but to him, that getting home late and then having to eat and then having to get ready for bed, that's an issue.
Yeah, it's a problem. I understand things happen in life. I mean, sometimes we have car trouble. Sometimes, I mean, I've personally sat out on I-40 in a shut down traffic jam for 4 or 5 hours. I mean, life happens to everybody. And then, and all you got to do is communicate. But we do need to be timely. Mr. Ivy?
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to add to the not eating thing. I will say that Marcus has a history of lying about food. This doesn't have to do with anything with the being late, but with the not being fed part, I have seen him eat at Kayla's house and then go home and tell Marcus that he didn't eat. So I do know he's just a hungry boy and he wants to eat. And so I'm just saying that instance, he does have a history of lying about food.
And that is true. It's been a while since we've had that issue with him, though. And one thing that made me believe him is when I said to him, do you understand? Because normally these children will not criticize mom, will not admit mom's done any wrong. And I said to him, are you certain? Because that would be irresponsible. And he said, I'm telling you, she didn't feed me that night. And I said, is that irresponsible? And he said, yes. In that instance, mom, well, he didn't say in that instance. He just said, yes, mom was irresponsible. And the fact that he even said that made me believe him, because normally you're not going to get anywhere with these kids if you say anything like that about Kayla. I mean, I will say this, these kids love their mamas in such a way that I know their mama loves them.
And Your Honor, I'll just tell you that was the day they went to the skating rink, and he had things from the snack bar. He had nachos, he had a Coke, he had things there and was fed. Maybe there's just a difference to him between did you eat dinner or did you eat snacks, possibly. But he did have plenty of food while he was with Kayla.
That actually is a good point. I did not ask if he had snacks. I do apologize for that.
Okay. Well, it's just basic parenting 101. You gotta build in some time, because inevitably things happen and you may need to stop and grab something here or there or whatever. So I just, again, communication is just the key there. So, okay.
And he had it drilled in, very much, if you don't eat dinner, you have to be truthful and stuff. And so we may be, putting a little much on him as far as like terminology and so forth. So maybe that was just a miscommunication, but I did verify he did eat during the visit.
Thank you, Ms. Grant. I didn't know that. And I will be more cautious with my language. I do think he's still young enough to be very literal. When I said dinner, that's going to mean dinner. I did not ask about snacks.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, well, I appreciate parents' hard work. I really, really do. I appreciate the progress we've made. I think things are really headed in the right direction for everybody involved. And, kind of like it or not, you guys are all kind of going to be one big extended family as long as these children are children. So I hope that the trend will continue, and I certainly think that it can. Okay, I'll see y'all back in February.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, appreciate everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, this is my only.
Here today for a permanency hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We are live streaming, and Ms. Taylor is making our record today. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Morning, Your Honor. Counsel Gene Graff, Tucker Ivy, on behalf of St. Francis, present and ready to proceed.
Stacy Grant on behalf of the mother, Kayla Martinez, and she's present, and I'm ready to proceed.
Brooks Barfield on behalf of Dylan Casey, present. He is present. We are ready to proceed.
Tracy Riley on behalf of Marcus Garcia. I am present. He is present, and we are ready to proceed.
Sage Seal here on behalf of the father, Albert Leos, Your Honor. He's present and we're ready.
Bethany Stevens, I'd Litem for the children, present, ready.
All right, CASA is also present with us. All right, then, Mr. Ivy. Okay. All right, if you want to go ahead and just give us an update, and then we'll let everybody ask questions.
The kid, sorry, I have COVID, so my voice is kind of gone. But the kids are doing good. Aubrey and Alexis are doing good with their dads. MJ started therapy on Monday through the FACE program with Aaron Smith. And so he is getting individual therapy with just him and the therapist. And I know they're going through a little bit of a struggle in the home, but I think overall everyone's doing good, and everyone's like, I think communication's going a lot better between like mom and dads. I haven't, since I've been back from paternity leave, I haven't got a call or anything saying about visitation and complications. So I think like the relationship between the mom and the dads is going better, and everything's going in a good direction. Mom's still testing clean. Mom's completed all of her services as well. She did her last NA meeting last night, and then she's got a sponsor. So we are looking at reunification coming up next.
Okay, and what period of sobriety have we had?
I believe she's been sober since, I want to say July or August.
Okay.
Maybe June.
All right, are there any services that any of the parents need to complete at this point?
No. We just have to do our reunification process on our end, and I have to talk, like, staff it with my director.
All right. Have you had any discussions with parents about what that's going to look like?
Yeah, we've talked about it, and I told them like that, as you stated, this wasn't a custody case, and that if anything, if they didn't come to an agreement, we would just go back to prior orders. And I think I've talked to all of them about it. I think they're pretty aware of like what things are going to look like and how it'll go.
Okay. All right, then. Anything else to report?
No, I will say we weren't able to test her in January, but that wasn't Kayla's fault. It was because I went on paternity leave, and the caseworkers who took over for me didn't do my drug screens that needed to be done that month. And so, but I mean, on all my cases, my parents didn't get tested during the month of January.
All right. Are we asking for any kind of orders today as far as any testing or anything?
No, I've already sent her to drug screen for this month. I haven't got the results back yet, but.
Okay. So let me just stop real quickly. So all of my parents are off video, and you guys are the ones I really need to see. So if you have the capability, would you all please turn your videos on?
Hello.
Okay. Morning. All right. Mr. Garcia, I still don't see you. Mr. Lewis, are you actually driving, or are you just sitting in a car?
Oh no, I'm sitting in the car. I'm
okay.
Parked.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. Okay. So let me just Mr. Garcia, I've got some
mute.
background noise coming from your device. Okay, yeah, you can just mute. That's fine. All right, Ms. Grant, do you have any questions for Mr. Ivy?
Briefly, Your Honor. I'm sorry, Tucker, my voice is gone too. Same sickness, I guess. Would you have any reason to disagree with me if Kayla states that her sobriety date is May 1st of 2025?
I have a positive test for June 18th.
And was that a hair follicle or UA?
It was a hair follicle.
Okay.
So she could have been sober in May.
Correct. So do you have any knowledge of her receiving a 9-month sobriety chip yesterday from AA?
No, ma'am.
Okay. That just happened yesterday, so I'm sure that it just hasn't gotten to you yet, but I can call her and ask her about that. Are there any safety concerns in Kayla's home?
No, ma'am.
Does she have appropriate setup for her children to be returned?
Yes, ma'am.
Do the siblings want to return?
Yes, ma'am. They've all stated they would like to go home to their mom.
Okay. Now, that doesn't mean they don't want to see their dads and continue this
No.
relationship with their dads, correct?
No, I think they all have healthy relationships with their dads.
Okay. So we're in a situation where we've come a long ways and all the parents can start to work together better, you believe?
I would hope so, yeah.
Okay. Do you have any concerns about Kayla's working or transportation?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Can you tell me, are we ready for her to have unsupervised access to her children?
Yes, ma'am. I believe so.
Okay. And so, do you have, if she's asking for unsupervised access today, do you have any reason you could provide to the court that that would be unsafe for the children?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Is she ready to start overnights and get ready for a reunification plan after we all meet?
I mean, I believe so. I'd still have to staff with my director on reunification, but
That would require a planning meeting, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And we haven't done that yet. Do you agree?
No.
Okay. So do you believe that it's in the best interest of the children to be together?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. And some of the children have relationships with some of the fathers that are not their biological fathers, correct?
I believe so. I don't think it's like a crazy strong relationship, but I think that they know each other.
Okay. And the fathers do you feel the fathers are accommodating and allowing the children to go with each other to each respective parent's home if the children wanted to do that?
I don't think they've done that, but I don't think the fathers all get along, if that's what you're asking.
We can put it that way. That's good. That's probably a better way to have asked it. You don't see any rub with any of the children or any parent on either side at this point as far as communication or being together. True?
Well, I know Albert and Kayla still have a hard time communicating with each other, but I think they've kind of put that aside for Alexis.
Okay, great.
As far as I know.
And that's common when we do these cases, right? Parents may not necessarily be each other's biggest fans, but they've come a long ways in working together in regard to the child. True?
Objection leading.
It's not my witness, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Yes, I think they've, since the beginning of the case, at least from what I've seen, I think they got a better relationship.
Okay.
It's still like rocky, but
sure. And we can't fix everything as far as parental relationships, and you don't provide services for that, correct?
No, ma'am.
This is about the children, and have all the fathers completed their services?
Yes, ma'am. Their service plan was very minimal, but yes.
Yeah, because they're non-offending parents, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you don't suspect any more services need to be added at this time for any parent, father or mother?
No.
Okay, pass the witness, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Barfield.
How is Aubrey doing in the placement with Dylan?
Really good. She's got her own room. She's I mean, she's with her little brother a lot, so she does really well.
Okay. All right. No concerns.
No concerns.
All right. No further questions.
Okay, you were kind of cutting out, but I think you said no further questions.
That's exactly what I said.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Riley?
Okay, so a couple of questions. MJ, you would agree there's been, I mean, MJ is struggling with some emotional issues, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And dad is working on those with him, correct?
Yes.
Would you agree with me that some of those issues have to do with sort of an instability that he's had over the last couple of years?
I mean, yeah, I think as far as I know, I think with just MJ's history, I think they said he has ADHD and that I mean he has to take medication. And so I think that has to do with it. I think instability like could have been a factor because I know before this case that I mean, I don't know the details because I hear it from each side, the drama between the parents. And so I know there was drama so between Marcus and Kayla before this case
Well, have
when
you
it came
looked
to
at,
like visits and like getting MJ and I think
right?
Marcus came into MJ's life when he was 6 and I think uh like visits have always been rocky between those two. So
Have,
I mean, yeah, that could definitely play a factor.
okay, have you looked at, I mean, you have records on Marcus's schooling, right?
On the school that he's at now,
Well,
like from the past year.
did you see how many schools that he's attended and how many switches that he's been through in the
No,
last year or so?
just in the last year.
Yeah.
No, I mean, since he's been in the case, he's been at the same school. So no,
Okay. What is Kayla, how often is Kayla allowed to visit Marcus or MJ right now?
she gets 1 8-hour visit, but we did tell dads like if they were okay with uh Kayla seeing more often, then it would be up to them.
Right, but can you just tell me what is she allowed
It's 1 8-hour supervised visit.
every week?
Yes.
Okay. And
And sorry.
are you aware though that she is not doing every week with MJ?
Yes, I do know because of her work schedule. I believe she's been trying to do every other week.
Right.
And
So are you aware though, with MJ that she has not spoken to MJ to explain to him why she's not getting him every week?
no, I thought I was under the assumption they were aware. No, I did not know that.
Okay. Are you aware of who picks MJ up to go on his visits with his mom?
Yes, it's the supervisor's wife.
The supervisor's wife. Explain that to me. I'm sorry. Who's the supervisor?
So it's the Aunt Candy. She's the supervisor for visits, and it's her wife that goes and picks MJ up and drops him off because Albert and Albert and Marcus want their kids home at like around the same time. And so in order to do that, Candy leaves with Kayla to take Alexis home and then and then Candy's wife will leave with MJ to take him home.
Right. And I think what you said is, so Kayla goes with one of the other kids to drop them off, but she does not drop off MJ, right?
No.
Okay. And so there's less time with MJ than with the other kids, just by the nature of the fact that she's with one while dropping off and not with the other.
Yeah, but I think just because with location and
I get that,
yeah,
but
it's
I'm just
difficult.
saying, right. But Tucker, if you could try to just kind of answer
Yeah.
the question. So she's getting less time though, and I get that there's a reason because she can't be in two places at once. But
Wait, everybody hold. I dropped off.
Oh crap! We did not notice.
I guess I'm in Carson County, and so I lost my Wi-Fi for a minute. So I need you to back up.
When
you were talking about I mean, Mr. Ivy had essentially answered that he wasn't aware that, I guess, that MJ, I didn't know why mom was not visiting maybe weekly.
Got it. Okay. Okay. So then, and we're just kind of going to go through this again, but so who picks up MJ for his visits?
It was Candy's wife, and Candy is the supervisor.
Okay. The person who can supervise the visits.
Yes.
And then her wife picks up MJ, correct?
Yes.
And does her wife also bring MJ back?
Yes.
And I think you explained that that's because two of the dads, their kids have to be back at the same time. So Kayla goes with one of the kids and Candy to drop that kid off, and MJ goes with this other person, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so, and I understand. So I don't, just sticking with the questions here. I understand she can't be in two places at once, but Kayla's choosing to drop off that other kid every week, but not go drop off MJ, correct?
Objection calls for speculation as to my client's choice.
Well, I think that's common sense, Judge, as to whether or not it's choice.
It's still speculation.
I'm going to overrule and allow him to answer the question. Yeah. I mean, if he knows an answer to the question.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I just know that the last time I talked to I had my visit with Marcus and MJ, they said the last two times it was Candy's wife that dropped off MJ.
Okay, and there's
So
no
I don't
order.
know if it's been every time or not.
Okay, so there's no order in place, though, that would mean that Kayla has to drop off another kid and not Marcus. Is that fair?
Yes.
So, right. So there's nothing from the department that says you must. Who's the other kid that gets dropped off at the same time?
Your Honor, can I object at this point to relevance to a permanency hearing as to pick up and drop off if it's not a non-issue at permanency?
Unless somebody's violating an order of the court, I mean, it really probably is not relevant at this point, and that's
fine.
We're going to have a little discussion here.
Yeah, and I'll move on. Are you?
Okay.
Thank you, Judge. So, and are you? Well, I don't have anything further then, Judge.
Okay, Ms. Seal.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Abbey, you don't have any concerns about Alexis's placement with Mr. Albert Leos at this time, is that correct?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and you believe that Mr. Leos and Ms. Martinez have been able to co-parent better than when the case first started?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and has she been consistently visiting with Alexis as far as you know?
I mean, as far as I know, yes. I do know that visitations have been canceled before, but I mean, that was in that email I sent with the message from Kayla and the message from Albert.
Yes, sir.
But other than that, and since then, I haven't heard any complaints or anything.
All right, pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Stevens.
No questions.
Okay. Before I get Ms. Stevens' recommendation and CASA's recommendation, let me just ask counsel, do you want a referral to mediation in the case? Mr. Leos has filed a counter petition. So
we
it's
already mediated, Your Honor. We went to mediation last month.
We did an early mediation, Judge, and
okay,
unsuccessful.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, our trial is scheduled for May 12th of 2026, and I'll just remind parents that I admonished everybody from the beginning that the purpose of this court is to oversee the health and safety and protection of children, and to provide family services to try to make sure families are reunified. In this case, children are all still with parents. So, at a point when nobody has anything further concerning the health and safety of the children, then this court will bow out, and anything else will go back to the district court. So, if we could resolve some of your issues here, that's great. I'd be happy to do that. But if you feel like there's not going to be any resolution, then we'll move forward at a final. I guess we'll see where we're at that point. But yeah, just a heads up to everybody that yeah, we are not here to get into people's private custody battles. So, okay, Ms. Stevens.
Your Honor, may I call a witness?
Sure, I thought, yeah, that's fine. If anybody has anything else, that's fine.
I just had one. I just wanted my client to be able to say a few things, Judge.
Sure. Okay, Ms. Martinez, raise your right hand for me. You'll need to unmute too.
Kayla, you heard some questions about your sobriety, correct?
Yes,
Did you receive a 9-month sobriety token from AA yesterday?
I did.
Have you continuously tested negative in the case other than the hair strand that was still declining in June of last year?
I have.
And have you completed all of your services?
I have.
Have you had to remain employed through this case as part of the requirements?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you remained employed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. As far as the children go, how are the visits going?
They're amazing.
Okay. But you're still supervised, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you been confused why you've been sober 9 months and not received any unsupervised access to this point?
Yes, I have.
Are you asking today that the court start allowing unsupervised access based on completion of your service plan and negative drug screens?
Yes, I would like that.
And I don't want to get into pickups and drop-offs and stuff, but do you intentionally have a reason why you take Alexis instead of MJ?
Yes, I do.
What's the reason?
So my sister's wife, obviously I have to be supervised, so Candy always comes with me, but my sister's wife has she has back problems with her spine, so she can't travel for very long. So that's why we ultimately travel to Vernon, and she travels 30 minutes to whether it's Wellington or Memphis, wherever, Abigail says to drop MJ off. And that's really the reason why, is because it's a shorter distance for her. And I feel that I communicate better with Abigail and Marcus, so they understand better the situation. They never really asked me. They never really, made a fuss about why is she dropping him off and not you. But I can understand why they are concerned that I'm, losing time with him, but they also, take time from me to punish MJ. So I don't
Okay.
even do that.
And let me ask you on how do you mean takes time away from you as punishment for MJ?
So we were at a point where I was picking up MJ on extra days, not even on, my scheduled days like Saturdays, or I would pick him up maybe Friday if he got out early from school, or Sunday or whatever it was. And Marcus told me that since he was acting up, and they thought it was because of me, because he was wanting to come home, and every time he got done visiting with me, he would act up at the house. They said that they felt it necessary to take that extra time from him because he was acting out. So
they were recognizing some behavioral issues and they felt they had to scale back. Is that a good way to put it? Okay. All right. And as far as MJ, is he doing better as far as you know?
No, I talk to MJ when he's here, on visits, and I let him know whether it's not over a phone. I let him know that, I work every other weekend, and I ask off for all of these classes and everything that I have to do, that it's hard for me to see them every weekend. So he gets that, but he's been in a lot more trouble and been causing a lot more problems, from what I've been told, than he's ever have with me. Even though he may have bounced.
Okay, and so you and Marcus Sr. are going to have to work together on that to get him settled back down, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, on the request today, are you asking the judge to allow you unsupervised visitation growing into possibly weekends so that reunification can start once it's staffed?
Yes.
Okay. And the other one last question. How much of the driving do you do in visiting with your children? Do you do all the driving that you can?
Yeah, I do. Honestly, it feels like half of my visit is on the road with them. So it kind of sucks, but because we don't really get to do much. So, yeah, there's a lot of driving involved. I mean, even the kids can tell you they get tired of being in the car.
But you're not blaming that on anybody else and take full responsibility for that, true?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right. Anybody else have any questions for Ms. Martinez?
I do. May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
Thank you. Ms. Martinez, did I understand that the communication between you and Dylan has actually been pretty good lately? Would you agree with that?
100%, yeah.
Okay. And in regards to that, did y'all have prior orders prior to the department getting involved in this case?
Yeah, just the basic standardized, every other weekend orders.
Okay, so my understanding, I'm just refreshing my memory because for some reason I couldn't find the paperwork. So y'all had prior court orders for standard visitation, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. And I know this isn't a trial or anything, but if the department gets out of here, there are prior orders that would dictate possession and access and all that kind of good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you recall when that occurred, approximately year?
I want to say 2020. I know Aubrey was about 2 years old when Dylan, started to want to request visits, but even before then she was seeing his dad. So
I wouldn't say it was want to. There was some more.
Okay, hang on.
Dylan, I'm not asking you questions right now.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I have the court orders, but I know that she was
Mr. Barfield, I can send you a copy of that court order.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
She was 11 months when we did the DNA test.
Whoa. You guys are talking all over each other. You all know better. Stop it right now. I'm not going to have Ms. Taylor be miserable, and we're going to have a clean record. So
Yes,
everybody just simmer down. There's one attorney and one witness right now.
Yeah.
If you have an objection, make your objection, but everybody just quit talking over each other. Mr. Barfield, ask your question again.
Okay. My question's been answered, Judge. That's all I wanted to know, if there were prior orders. That's all I wanted to know.
There are prior orders on each child.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm done. Pass the witness.
All right. Anybody else have any questions for Ms. Martinez?
Judge, I do, just real briefly. Ms. Martinez, in working things out with and again, I know this isn't a trial too, but in working things out with MJ, do you have some reservations about reunification with him before the end of the school year?
I've honestly thought about that. I want them back. I mean, they took my kids out of school and put them in different schools at the end of the school year.
Right.
As it was.
Right. And I understand that, but MJ, you'd agree with me that MJ's going through a lot, right? And he's struggling.
Mm-hmm.
And so reunification with him might be in the last couple months of school, correct?
Correct.
And in 2024, he went to 3 different schools, right? Or 2 different schools?
He went from Shamrock to Clarendon, so yes, correct.
Okay. And school is one of the areas that he does, is struggling in, right?
Objection. Your Honor, my objection is just based on outside the scope of this hearing for today.
Well, the child's education is always on the table. So if he's struggling in school, it's relevant. So objection is overruled.
So school is one of the areas he struggles in, right?
I mean, when he was with me, I never had any complaints from his school about him struggling.
Right, but I'm talking about right now.
Right now, yeah. His school, yeah.
Yeah. And so, and there is a plan, and you and Marcus Sr. have talked about those issues and are trying to put a plan together to get him past that, correct?
I hardly ever talk to Marcus. I'm usually always talking to Abigail.
Sure, and I'm sorry, but
Okay.
I kind of, okay. And Abigail's his partner, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So, and one of the things that you believe would be helpful to get Marcus more stable is increased visits with you, correct?
Yes.
Okay. But switching schools, even with all this going on, you don't think that that would be a problem and that that would cause some more instability for Marcus for junior?
No, I think that a lot of his instability and problems is coming from being separate from us, like his sisters, me, and seeing how he's all like we're all he's ever known. So I feel like the reason why he's acting out at school and, causing problems outside of school with his dad is because of, being pulled away from, which, I'm taking accountability for that, but I feel like he would do much better being, back to his normal.
And then just as a last, just have you talked to the therapist at all about that? Oh, did we lose the judge again?
No,
No, I'm
No,
right
there's
here.
the judge. Sorry, somebody went off and I just wanted to make sure it wasn't you this time, Judge. Have you talked to the therapist at all about what her thought is about that? Or not yet? I know that's
What-
fairly new.
Yeah, no, from what I recalled, MJ wasn't going to therapy, so this is news to me that he started.
Okay, all right, pass the witness.
Okay, anybody else have any questions for Ms. Martinez?
Yes, Your Honor, briefly. Ms. Martinez, whenever you said that they take away time when MJ's acting up, did you mean they're taking away the extra time they were trying to give him with you, or the time that you are required to have by CPS?
The extra time.
The extra time. And what do you do to try to help MJ calm down during the transitions?
He doesn't act out during transition. Like when I'm dropping him off, he doesn't act out. I talk to him. Marcus and Abigail have both called me and said, "Hey, can you please talk to him and help us out?" And I do, and I have. And he, my son's he's 11. Although I know a lot of people want to see him as a grown up who's becoming a man, he's still a child. So the way that he emotionally process, like with me, he can break down and everything like that, but when he goes there, I'm not sure why he acts out. I mean, he says he'll do better, but I'm not there to.
Your Honor, I'm going to object at this point just to non-responsive after the first part of the answer.
Okay, sustained.
Pass the witness.
Okay, anybody have any further questions for Ms. Martinez?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Counsel, do any of you have any other witnesses to call today?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
No.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, Your Honor, Mr. Casey was going to say something and I cut him off. It was part of the over talking, so I think I better ask him what he wanted to say.
Okay, Mr. Casey, if you'll unmute.
Yes, Your Honor.
Dylan, I was asking a question to Ms. Martinez and you indicated that you wanted to say something. What is it that you wanted to relate to the court?
I'm sorry. I'm a little everywhere right now. I can't even remember what it was. It was just something that you said, and I can't think of it again.
Okay, that's fine. I have no further questions, Judge.
Okay. Anybody have any other witnesses they wish to call?
No, Judge.
I want a recommendation from Ms. Stevens and from CASA both. Ms. Stevens, go ahead.
Placement is safe and appropriate. I recommend the children stay there.
All right, CASA.
I agree with Bethany. Safe and appropriate. The kids are doing great there. They've got such stability there, and I think that's good for them. I think it's helped them. We talked to the counselor this morning, and that she has not started counseling with MJ. She said hopefully Monday. I want that to start and continue. He's been since October since he's had therapy, and it keeps getting missed. So he really needs to get into therapy, and just stay with dads right now. I feel like that's the most safe and appropriate for them right now.
Mr. Ivy, I'm going to kick this back to you. I mean, where do we stand at this point? Do you see any continuing danger to the children's health, safety, well-being, mental, emotional well-being, any kind of danger for these children?
No, I
That
do
would
think
that
like
would hang on that would
sorry.
that necessitates us remaining involved in this case.
No, ma'am. I don't. I think MJ needs to continue therapy. The only thing I would like to do is just make sure like MJ does get better whenever we do reunify, and that he remains like in a good state of mind.
So what is the plan as far as I mean, you've said that you think reunification is now on the horizon. So what is the plan? I mean, what is your suggestion?
I staff with my director. We do the reunification process, which is 8 weeks, where I go and check on them once a week. I check on the kids. I mean, I also agree that like I don't know how it would work, but MJ finishing school, like not having to switch schools like right before school ends, I think that would be good for him, but I understand like that it's not really plausible.
Well, if we're talking about a reunification plan that's going to take 8 weeks, that's going to take us essentially to the first part of May. Correct?
Yes. Well, I mean, we reunify, and then once a week I would start there. Like by the end of next month, we should be able to reunify, or maybe like mid next month. And so,
When are the kids' spring breaks?
I don't know what spring break is for the kids in Clarendon.
I mean,
I also don't
I
know if
know.
it's different for the kid or Alexis in Wichita.
I'm guessing it's the same as AISD, but I don't know that for a fact. Do any of the parents know?
I would have to call up to the school and find out, Your Honor.
I might have it on my calendar. 1 second.
But I mean, I do feel like we have like good dads. We have a good mom. It's just going back to what it was before we got involved. And so it's just approaching that, trying to figure out how.
Your Honor, for Alexis, her spring break is going to be the March 9th through the 13th.
Okay.
Your Honor, and the spring break for Clarendon is March 16th through the 20th.
Okay, well, I'm going to continue the department as temporary manager conservator. I don't find that there's a continuing danger to the children at this time. I find all parents are in compliance with their family plans of service. I want St. Francis to initiate the reunification plan with the children and with their mother and go back to where we were at. I assume you'll staff that and come up with the details of that, but I am going to order that mothers start having unsupervised access to the children and just immediately whenever her next visits are. Mr. Ivy, that may take some of those are going to happen, but I don't think we need all the extra people involved at this point in time. Maybe that will simplify things. I don't know. So, we'll see what happens between now and May 12th. I understand that, it's tough about the school situation, but he would be, as far as MJ is concerned, he would be coming back to something that's familiar. So it's not like a whole brand new school where he didn't know anybody or any of the teachers or, staff there or anything like that. So I think it's a lesser concern to me than it might be otherwise. But anyway, I'm going to permit the St. Francis to go ahead and proceed as they deem is safe for the children, and I just don't see any continuing danger. So we'll proceed into a reunification plan, and I'll see everybody back on March 12th of 2026, and that'll be on a 9 o'clock docket.
May 12th, Judge, or March 12th?
May 12th. May 12th. I'm sorry if I said March, but May 12th.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Judge. Thank you all very much. I encourage parents to continue to work together. You still got a lot of years ahead of you. All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Tina's logged in now. The only person I'm missing is Ms. Riley, but I'll just keep an eye out. Okay, then, let's see. Who's going to give us the update today? Mr. Ivy?
Yes, ma'am.
You'll raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you'll give today will be the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then. I'll let you go ahead and give us an update, and then we'll see who has questions.
Okay. We have reunified with mom. There's been a couple hiccups, but I mean, it's an adjustment period for mom because she's got 3 kids that just came back into the house. Aubrey, I know she's had trouble sleeping recently because she's got a pretty bad cough, and so she's been tired at school. MJ's doing good in school overall. He is seeing the counselor weekly, and we're trying to get him set up for e-therapy. And Kayla's done everything on her end to do it. The school said, I called the school and they said that it just takes time to set it up, but I'm going to try and get them in through Rolling Plains so we have something during the summer. And so that's in the works. Alexis is doing really good. She's having to see a hearing specialist because her hearing is literally going out. Apparently it's something that she said, I mean, Kayla could say more, but it's something she's had surgery for already before. But she's having her see a specialist here pretty soon. I would say there's been a couple of like tardiness reported from the school, but overall the kids are happy. They're doing good. Kayla's doing good. She's still been compliant. And I think the relationship with dads though are still rocky. Like mom and dad still aren't getting along. And I know there's been some issues with MJ's medications because Marcus has an opinion on like what medications he should be taking, and then Kayla has an opinion, and they both got opinions from different doctors. And so right now we're just trying to get that figured out, but I think they're going to work it out amongst themselves. And at the moment, I think on I want to say June 6th, MJ is supposed to go see the psychiatrist, and that's when we'll get more of an outline on like more details on what medication he should be taking. And then Kayla will figure out if he like needs to see that psychiatrist still, or if she wants him to just keep going with the person in Childress, the doctor in Childress. But overall, the kids tell me they're still happy. They want to live with their mom. I know that Kayla's been trying to do visits, like the weekend visits with Marcus and Albert. I know there's been some complications with Albert, and then I believe with Dylan and Aubrey. Aubrey's just still adjusting to like being with mom, but still having weekends with Dylan. But overall still, I think the kids are happy. They're doing good with their mom. They're still passing in school. And I think we're going in the right direction.
How long have they been home now?
3 weeks, I believe.
Right. How many tardies have we had?
I believe there's been a couple of tardies. Like 2 to 3. Honestly, CASA would know more. They were the ones that went to the school. But I believe when I talked to them yesterday, I believe it was 2 to 3.
So an average of once a week.
roughly. But I do believe there is an adjustment period for mom trying to get all the kids together and get them to school.
Okay. I mean, Ms. Martinez, I take that real seriously. I'm giving you a heads up.
Yeah, the two tardies that they had, the first one was because they had miscommunications with the bus, and the second one was because I had just brought them back from the doctor and they went with a doctor's note, and it was only the girls.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I situated that out with the school and they knew, and I called them ahead of time and everything. So those are the only two tardies that they have because we live just 2 blocks from the school. There's no reason for them to be late.
That does line up with what CASA said too, because I believe CASA said that girls were the only ones that were tardy.
Well, what's the deal with the bus if you live 2 blocks from the school?
Well, I asked my kids for their opinion on what they want, what they don't. I asked them if they wanted me to take them to school or they want to ride the bus, and the girls were pretty excited about riding the bus, but that's the only reason why.
So they'll pick them up if they're just 2 blocks from school?
Yeah, they do that here.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, just it's just important that they get there timely. So, okay. All right. Anything further, Mr. Ivy?
No, ma'am.
All right. We're moving towards, a final order in this case, Mr. Ivy. Do you think that at this stage, you think parents are going to work some of these things out, or do we still need to go to mediation?
I think after we get out, there's likely to be custody court.
We've done mediation, Your Honor, and it was unsuccessful.
All right. Okay, then. All right, Ms. Grant, do you have any questions for Mr. Ivy today?
Tucker, as of today's date, do you have any safety concerns for these children being with their mother?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any concerns regarding the suitability of her home or her ability to provide for her children?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any concerns for their emotional health and well-being, in this case, remaining?
No, ma'am.
Do you have anything further you'd like the mother to do to engage with the children with their medical providers?
No. I mean, the only thing I would ask is if she could have better communication with the dads, which I mean, it's primarily, and I'm not saying it's just on her end, it's both ends between Marcus and Kayla. I just wish they would have better communication when it comes to MJ.
Okay, so in regards to MJ's medication, is there any thing you're seeking in the form of an order of the court today regarding a path forward with who will be the decider for his medical information? For example, do you have an opinion as to who should make the decision regarding the medications between the healthcare providers, if there's more than one?
No, I don't. I think whatever they had prior to us is what it should be. I guess their previous orders, if it's stated in there.
Okay, so have you had a chance to confer with both of the healthcare providers, being the one that the father is relying on and the one that the mother's relying on?
I haven't had a chance to talk to Dr. Mendoza or the doctor in Childress like myself, because I mean, this kind of all came up like I want to say last Friday, and then I talked to Kayla about it yesterday, and so I haven't had a lot of time to get through it. And I actually am going to the facility where Dr. Mendoza is today. after we get done here, and then I'm gonna go talk to him.
Okay, and would you be willing to provide an update to all of the attorneys in this matter once you visit with each of the healthcare providers so that any attorney can file any motion they might deem necessary using that information?
Yes, ma'am.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Barfield?
I have no questions at this time for this witness.
Okay, Ms. Riley?
Briefly, and I apologize because I was having a hard time logging on, but so did you have a conversation about why it is that Miss Martinez sought a new doctor rather than relying on the old doctor? I mean, rather than relying on the doctor that had prescribed MJ the medication?
Well, I believe it was Dr. Mendoza that prescribed him the medication, and the doctor, she went to a different doctor because I mean, to get into specifics, I don't know the specifics of like what medication, what they do, how it works, but Kayla said that he was taking an antidepressant, which she believes he's bipolar, and so the antidepressant would have negative effects on him, and he's had like pretty bad weight gain over the last 2 months, and the doctor that she saw in Childress said that that could be a cause for it, which I'm sure Kayla could give you more details on all that, but
Right, but
sorry.
so who is the doctor that said that he could be taken off of it?
The doctor in Childress. I don't know the name specifically. I just know there's a doctor in Childress, and then there's Dr. Mendoza in Amarillo.
Okay, and do you have any actual documentation from the doctor in Childress that says that he could actually be taken off that medication?
No, I have not got it yet.
Okay,
again,
so
like
we're
it
relying.
was yesterday that I figured this out.
And when did mom discontinue his antidepressant?
Don't know. I believe it was, I want to say last week, but I know that she was also asking about getting it refilled, but they said they wouldn't refill it until, I mean, she could give you more of the specifics on it. Again, it was literally like Friday and then yesterday when they were both, I was getting both ends of their story. And so I want to say, sorry.
Well, and I understand that, and I'm not trying to expect you to jump through miracles here, but we're talking about a kid who has some mental health issues who we're not sure, if I'm getting you correctly, we're not sure what meds he's taking right now. Is that correct?
I have what meds he's taking on our healthcare portal.
Right, but mom has discontinued one of those medicines. Is that correct?
Yes, but it was through a doctor that she discontinued it.
Right,
At least as far as I know, but I haven't got proof.
Right, and that's what I'm getting at, is that mom has told you that she spoke to a doctor and that doctor told him to just blanket discontinue a medication without weaning, without anything. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Okay, and so do you know what date that Kayla stopped giving him that medication?
No.
Okay, and so, and we don't, as we sit here today, we don't have any clarification that a doctor actually even told her to stop giving him that medication.
No.
Okay, and so if he were diagnosed with, and so you say that Kayla believes he is bipolar. Is that right? Is that what you said?
So yes, but I believe he was diagnosed with EED, is what Marcus told me, which is Dr. Mendoza, the one that Marcus went to. He's the one who diagnosed MJ with EED. Sorry.
Right, but my
objection, Your Honor, can the witness be allowed to complete his answer, please, so that we can get the information? My device is cutting out, and I'm not sure I'm getting his whole answer before the next question starts.
All right, you all are, hang on, Ms. Riley. You're talking over him terribly. I'm sure it's been a struggle for Ms. Goodman, so everybody just slow it down.
Okay, but if you could just answer what I'm asking, though, which is it correct that Kayla says that he believes that he's diagnosed with bipolar?
Yes, she thinks that he has bipolar.
But we don't have any diagnosis that says that he has actually been diagnosed by a doctor of being bipolar.
No, Dr. Mendoza stated that they don't like to diagnose kids his age with bipolar. And so I think instead they went with EED, which is like emotional. I don't know. Marcus told me yesterday or on Friday, but it's an emotional disorder, I believe.
Emotional disturbance disorder.
That
Right.
that
You
sounds
mean
right.
right. So you meant EDD,
Mhm.
correct?
Yes.
Okay. So Dr. Mendoza, who prescribed him the medication and diagnosed him with EDD, is that correct? He's the person that did that.
Yes.
And then is it my understanding that Kayla, for some reason, went to a different doctor, according to what she's telling you, and that this different doctor said, take him off that med?
Yes.
Did they replace that medication with a different antidepressant?
No, I don't believe so.
Did they replace it with any medication?
I don't know for sure. That's why I'm sorry. I wish I would have had the chance to talk to the doctors before we got into court, but I haven't yet. So I honestly do not know the details.
All right, pass the witness.
Okay, does anybody else care that we're out on YouTube talking about this little boy's health information?
Actually, Your Honor, I was
Waiting
going to
for a
ask if we
motion.
could go off of YouTube. This is Bethany, the attorney for the kids. Can we go off of YouTube?
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
No objection.